Welcome to the Product Business Podcast. This is your number one podcast for the tips, actions, and insights to make more money from your products while enjoying your life. I'm your host, Amy Wenslow. Let's dive right in. Hello, everyone. I am so glad that you are here today. This is the day that we have done one of our live Q&A call-in shows in the morning, and that'll be posted for you soon. It got me thinking about something though, and that is this. Like Tony Robbins said, the ability to ask a good question is one of the keys. So the actual quote is about the quality of the question and what you do with the answer, right? So if you ask a low quality question, then you're going to get a low quality response. So if you were to say, why does this always happen to me? You're going to get a bunch of junky reasons in your head that your brain says, oh, that's why. And it's because you do this and you're that. And it'll be kind of snarky, really. But if you ask a question like, well, how could I meet the demand of this product? Then you're going to get a lot more resourceful questions. Welcome to the Product Business Podcast. This is your number one podcast for the tips, actions, and insights to make more money from your products while enjoying your life. I'm your host, Amy Wenslow. Let's dive right in. Everyone, hello. Welcome to the Product Business Podcast. I'm so thrilled that we get to do this with you. And today is one of the days where we started with a live Q&A call-in version of the show that I have been doing for years, where we've answered literally thousands of questions. It's been my privilege and honor to do that as a public service. So let's think for a second about what makes that work, right? As Tony Robbins says, the quality questions create a quality life. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. The entire show idea from 8 years ago, when I started doing the live Q&A, was to work on our book content. And I said, well, how can I make sure that this happens? How could I do that? And I came up with the idea of doing this live call-in and basically letting people quiz me about product, because I'd been doing product for a couple decades, and there were so many questions that I took for granted that people just knew how to do things. And then I discovered that's not the case. So my response to a couple questions that are really, really powerful to ask on a daily basis was this show, and was this podcast version and the evolution of it over the years. So the three questions these are from Tony Robbins. So what is something I can do for someone else today? What is something I can do to add value to the world today? What is something I can offer to other people? And when you come at it from a context of that with your business, you will design your business differently, and it has much broader support than if you're just in this, how can I make it work for me and how can I make my life? And, it's a very taker kind of mentality. So I have a question for you today. How can we serve you even better? How could I serve you and your business with more heart and more spirit, right? That's the context of this show. And when you are working with a retailer, or you're selling to a consumer, or any of that, the context flips when you ask these better questions. Though how you even design your product is different. This is core to how Apple designs product. How could they serve the need better determines the form factor or shape even of a product, the features that should be in it. And it's a really important distinction. So I would invite all of you to come back, listen to the next episode. It is all about tariffs, and it's one of our longer episodes. So I really invite you to take a listen to that, and then post a comment, post a review or a question on whatever platform you're listening to this from. I would love to hear more about how we can serve you and how we can make this even better for you. With that, everyone, this is Amy Wenslow. Thank you so much for tuning in again. You have just listened to the Product Business Podcast with me, your host, Amy Wenslow. Subscribe, review, and share our podcast on Apple iTunes, Podcasts, or Google Play. Until next time.